Hi, I'm Rachel Baird.
I'm Ed Peruta.
I have in my hand a 204-page affidavit submitted by FBI Special Agent Laura Smith in support of probable cause for the arrest of 32 defendants in a bribery college scheme.
There is so much information in this book that we've had to start recording in the mobile studio called the Toyota Camry.
Now, two of the defendants in this case are well known, Felicity Huffman and Lori Laughlin. Everybody's heard about them, but the stories of all 32 defendants contained in this affidavit are highly interesting. Now, you haven't read this at all, right, Ed?
I haven't read any of it.
I've read it. I've prepared. The affidavit by FBI Special Agent Smith begins with a defendant named Jane Buckingham. And so we're going to begin today with our 32-part installment series, Jane Buckingham, defendant in the college bribery scheme scandal. What do you know about Jane Buckingham?
Nothing.
She is the CEO of a boutique marketing firm in Los Angeles, California. What we know from this report is that Jane Buckingham has two children, a son and a daughter approaching college age or of college age. Now, bear in mind, Ed, that the college bribery schemes basically involve two schemes. One scheme is the entrance exam cheating scheme, and the other is the college recruitment scheme. The first is where they cheated on the entrance exams, the ACT and the SAT, right?
The test.
And the second is where they paid off people to get their kids into college. Jane Buckingham is part of the first scheme, which I think is a little more the complex of the two schemes. Okay, do you know how it worked?
No.
Do you have any idea how the entrance examination cheating scheme worked?
Yeah, you pay somebody to correct the test in your favor.
Okay, well, that's one of the ways of doing it. So let's get into this. Disclaimer, all 32 of the defendants named in this affidavit who were arrested are innocent until proven guilty. These are mere allegations at this point, Ed. So anything we say is based on probable cause, the allegations set forth. Okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I understand innocent until proven guilty. But in this case, there's the court of public opinion that doesn't always go by those rules.
Right.
And because we're sitting here on, what is it, the 9th?
April 9th.
Is today the 9th?
Yeah.
April 9th, 2019, some people are reported to have already agreed to plead guilty.
Right. But
so that I think that it's fair for the court of public opinion to be able to discuss the matter without saying the alleged this and the alleged that.
Right, well, we're not going to do that. That's
right.
Boring. Okay, who are the players in this? We already know who Jane Buckingham is. There's a cooperating witness number 1 and a cooperating witness number 2.
I see this.
There's actually 3 altogether, but only 2 of them play a part in Miss Buckingham's story.
Okay.
Cooperating witness number 1, you've probably heard of him, Rick Singer, William Rick Singer. I guess everybody goes by Rick, right? He's the one that owns the Edge College Career Network. He's also the CEO of the Key Worldwide Foundation. Okay, so he has this business in Newport Beach, California, right?
We know people in Newport Beach.
The Edge College Career Network, where basically it's used as a funnel to get kids improperly into higher education. And we'll learn more about that.
That's kind of a niche business.
The second cooperating witness in this case is a guy, Mike Rydell. He's the one that went in and took the test for the students, okay? That's another way. They actually got somebody
to go in and take the test?
From Bradenton, Florida. He works at a college prep school down there. He goes in and takes the test for you. There were 3 ways of doing this. You could either have somebody take the test for you. You could take the test and then they would correct the answers for you. Or while you're there, they would just tell you the answers that were correct, okay? Now, you may ask, Ed, How did they do this? Because when you took tests, you were sitting in a room full of people, right?
Well, wait a minute. In 1978, I had to fly over to Tampa to take my FAA exam.
Mm-hmm.
You mean I could have sent somebody in to take the exam for me and just jumped in a plane after I passed?
No, of course not.
Oh.
Of course not, because there should be stricter controls placed on this, and that's where the system fell apart here. Go ahead, ask me how these people managed to have a proctor or an administrator who corrected answers for them or told answers to them or allowed somebody else to take the test for them.
You want me to ask you or you want me to guess?
Guess.
Money.
Okay, this is how it worked.
Money.
If you have a learning disability, you can ask for extra time to take tests, and that includes college prep tests like the ACT and SAT. So Rick Singer would counsel the parents to go to their doctor and get a note saying the kid had some kind of learning disability, and that would allow them to take the test in an individualized environment over the course of 2 days. And it turns out that once they got this note from the doctor that they didn't have to take the test in the environment that all the other kids had to take the test in, that Rick Singer would refer them to a test center in Houston or a test center in West Hollywood, where he had already paid off the administrators. He would funnel everybody to those 2 test administration centers. And he had 2 administrators, one in Houston, Nikki Williams, and one in West Hollywood, Igor Dvorsky, who he paid off to proctor the exams, to give out answers, and to allow cooperating witness number 2 to go in and take the test. Pretty amazing stuff, isn't it?
Rather elaborate.
Oh, so elaborate.
But they had enough money to do it.
So bearing all this in mind, this affidavit contains dialogue from conversations between the parent and Rick Singer, making arrangements for all this to happen. They had phone taps put in. Which part are you going to play?
Phone taps?
Which part are you going to play?
CW1, cooperating witness number 1.
Now, this is Rick Singer, and he's the one that operated the Edge College Career Network Center. He was at the center of this. He was the hub. He's the one that made all the arrangements. Okay, go ahead. You be Rick Singer.
Hey there. So I just talked to Nikki, so you guys are going to meet at 8 a.m. in front of the Houston Test Center.
Okay. I'm Jane Buckingham.
And you're actually not going to take the test there, because they're doing some remodeling at the school.
Okay.
But she's going to walk you across the street to Texas Southern University, because it's right across the street.
Okay.
And they're going to have a classroom all set up for the proctor. I guess that's CW2, and your son, and then Nikki will take care of the rest.
Amazing. And is it okay if he takes it all in one day?
He's going to take it, wait a minute, he's going to take it one day because CW2 is only flying in from Florida for one day. I guess he's got to do it in one day. Go ahead.
There you go. That's...
But on the form, it will say 2 days.
Got it. Got it.
So we will document that he took it over 2 days.
Because he's learning disabled. Okay. Now after all this occurred, there were more plans put in place. And that was a conversation, by the way, that occurred last July 10th, 2018. And I believe they talk a couple days later. Right, Ed?
Now, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out thing because we got to let people, absorb what we're saying. We've read one page, one portion of one page,
right,
200 and something pages, and you're telling me that this was acquired off of wiretaps.
Yes.
So they've got these people speaking in their own words.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we're reading it. I'm sure that if you listen to it, it has a lot more flavor to it.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't we do this? This is good?
No, we're going to do the other conversations.
How many?
There's 4, but they're short.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. This is the next
this
conversation.
Is me speaking?
Nope, we're going to go right down here
okay,
to the transcript. So I guess my question is, look.
Go ahead.
First of all, he can get on the plane like according to him, he's like, I don't really feel that bad. I think I'm okay. This is what happened. Her son had tonsillitis, and so he didn't want to fly from California to Houston, okay? Because what was going to happen was the kid was going to show up. The guy that was really going to take the test, cooperating witness number 2, was going to show up, and then they were going to make the arrangement, and the cooperating witness number 2 would actually take the test, right? And by the way, Nikki Williams, who's the administrator here, allowing all this to go forward, they're paying for her to take a vacation. That's all she got out of this. The guy that took the test, cooperating witness number 2, got $10,000, okay? And Jane Buckingham paid a total of $50,000 for this to occur. Just want to let you know what the money was. And I do think this doctor's a little over-conservative. Part of my challenge is that my ex-husband is being incredibly difficult about the whole surgery. And if I take him to Houston and then he can't get the surgery, he's going to be very annoyed with me. So my question is, there's no way for him to not go and it's still to be done, I assume?
Oh, maybe I can do that. But I just don't. I have to talk to the proctor to make sure she's fine with doing it.
Right.
It's the gal who runs the school.
Right.
So I have to ask her. I just got off the phone with her, but if you are okay with that, then just...
Well, what?
The score.
What I would do is, I would say to you, can you give me a test for him to take it home that we proctor him, that I proctor him?
Got it. Okay, yeah. I guess we could do something like that.
I mean, that's just, I guess, and it's the only thing I can think of if you think it's doable.
Yeah, so the only other way is that ACT allows a
ACT.
3-week... ACT allows a 3-week window, unlike SAT, which is a 3-day window.
Right.
So I just talked to Nikki, the gal at the Houston Test Center, and she is back on the 25th of July.
It just depends on whether he gets the surgery or not.
I know.
He can't fly for 2 weeks after that.
Okay, so let me call Nikki and ask her if she would have a problem with CW2 just doing this.
Yeah.
Which would actually make it easier for him to do it because it would take less time. But let me call Nikki right now and see what she says.
Now, what I don't understand about this exchange is if cooperating witness number 2 is going to take the test for the kid in Houston, why do they need to send the test to the kid? Oh, I know. It's because I got to figure that out. Why does the kid need to get the test in California if the cooperating witness is going to take the test for him in Houston anyway? Okay, let's read the next.
Okay. Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
So Nikki is willing to do it.
Yep.
We are looking for correct that we are trying to get ourselves like 34 on the ACT?
Yeah.
So cooperating witness number 2 will do that. It's really, can it be a 33? It would be a 34. It would be a 35.
Right. Now the highest score is 36.
But so anyways, she said she would do it. She would send us a copy of the test that we're going to take.
Okay.
And then even though we're already going to send in his test, there at least your son will have taken the same test.
Thank you.
Okay, so your donation is going to be $50?
If it'll end up being through, oh, you didn't read the whole thing.
It'll end up being through our foundation.
Okay.
And I'm already sending a check to the proctor today and to Nikki today because she said, I got to have the money first.
Okay.
Smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay or no?
Okay.
I said, Nikki, I have been doing this forever. She said, I get it, but this is crazy.
Yeah, I know this is craziness. I know it is. And then I need you to get him into USC, and then I need you to cure cancer and make peace in the Middle East.
I can do that. I can do that if you can figure out a way to boot your husband out so that he treats you well. You're treated better.
That's impossible. But, you know, peace in the Middle East. You know, Harvard, the rest of it. I have faith in you.
Got it. All right. So I will tell cooperating witness number 2 now that he's just going to pick it up from Nikki to take it. And Nikki will send us a copy, and then your son can take it sometime next week when he's feeling better.
Yeah, I mean, look, he can't take it Saturday. I have no problem with him taking it then.
But it's not an issue with that. It can be anytime he wants.
Right, okay.
That's not an issue, because it has to be sent in from Houston.
And will you send me where and how I should send the check?
Oh, yeah. We'll send it that you get IRS tax write-off. Oh.
Because it's going, yeah. Oh, even better.
Yeah, it will be. It would be through our foundation, our 501c3, and then we'll send the checks to all the parties.
Okay.
And that way, there's no people aren't saying, oh, why did you send a check to Houston Test Center? And da.
Right. Okay. The next part and the final part is the cooperating witness number 2 really wants to do a good job on this one. And so they request that Jane Buckingham provide a handwriting sample from her son so CW2 can get the handwriting right. Okay?
Hey, could you get me a handwriting sample?
Yep.
And a signature sample so that he can kind of get close. Had he not taken the test before, we wouldn't have to do this. But I just want to make sure we're close in our writing.
Yes. He has not great writing. I'm going to give you that. But I'm going to I'm bringing him to the doctor right now. Stop. I can't see. I'm bringing him to the doctor right now. So we will sit down in the waiting room and I will send it to you. And then shortly thereafter, she sent the writing sample. Just to follow up on this. It turns out that she contacted cooperating witness number 1 about 4 months later to go.
Hold on a minute.
To go through the same process.
They
with
actually
her daughter.
have the handwritten sample.
They do.
To whom it may concern, this provides an example of my current writing style. Thank you for your attention, sincerely.
So there's really no doubt the kid knew
what was going on.
Yeah, at least in Jane Buckingham's
case. And it
case.
appears that the kid had taken the test previously, and probably they have a sample of his handwriting on the first test and his signature.
Yep, so they wanted to match it up just to be careful. It's not something they had to do in every case. And so she tried to do the same thing for her daughter in October, and it's kind of funny because she says, my daughter doesn't need his highest score because she's not trying to get into his competitive college. This CW2, supposedly you could tell him what score you needed on that particular test, and he could do it. Okay, so that's episode 1, Jane Buckingham. Episode 2 to follow.
Reporting live from the mobile studio in the Toyota Camry in a parking lot in Hartford.